Well, welcome back to CrossTalk. Once again, I'm Josh Weiss, and before the break, I unfolded some of the scriptures that we can look at in history throughout the Bible that lay out the roadmap that Israel has taken. And right now, in that roadmap, we're at a place where the children of Israel are back in Israel. God is gathering His people back to His land. And the conflict that is taking place was one that was prophesied long before now. And so it's no surprise. And it's no surprise we know how the story ends. But in the meantime, there are some very tangible things that we can do during this conflict to bless Israel. Genesis tells us that God will bless those who bless Israel and curse those who curse Israel. And that has a lot of meaning to it. And many times when we have those types of scriptures, it can seem very Christianese for Christians, where it's just kind of like way out there. What does that look like on the ground? Well, today I'm going to tell you a little bit about what that looks like on the ground. And with me I have Jonathan Feldstein from Heart to Heart. Jonathan, I am so glad that you're here with us, and I'm sure that our audience will soon understand just how much of a blessing it is for you to be here.
It's a blessing for me. Thank you for having me.
So, Jonathan, you work with a ministry, Heart to Heart. Tell me a little bit about Heart to Heart and your parent organization. What is Heart to Heart?
So Heart to Heart is a way that Christians and others can support Israel by providing a very tangible and meaningful blessing through what's Israel's national ambulance, EMS, and blood service organization called Magen David Adom. And what we do is we created the world's first virtual blood donation program for people who are watching now who want to say, wow, how can I bless Israel? How can I do something? Many times what we've done is we brought Americans in the land to physically come and donate blood and leave a portion of blood behind that's running through the veins of Israelis who are in need, and at this time of conflict, the need is even more heightened. But for those who are here, for those who are watching all across America or wherever they may be in the world and want to do something, what we've done is created the opportunity for people to support our work through Heart to Heart by sponsoring an individual unit of blood for $100. And that unit of blood can save as many as 3 different lives because we break it down into the components. And because there is only one blood service in Israel, and because there is one national ambulance service for the state of Israel, we feel very blessed to be in the role we are to make these major financial contributions that are helping save lives in so many tangible ways.
Yeah. Your organization is the only organization responsible for emergency medical services, ambulances, and blood donation. Is that accurate?
That's correct. From the 1950 Knesset law, Magen David Adom is mandated with these roles. We process 97% of the blood in the country. We have a fleet of over 1,000 ambulances that there's one number. People watching in America know that for a medical emergency, you call 911 and reach a professional dispatcher who will then route the call. In Israel, there's one number to call directly for an ambulance service, and that's to the dispatch of Magen David Adom, which means the Red Star of David. And it's a very fitting name because it was the Star of David, the 6-pointed star, comes from the shield of King David himself. And whether, at least metaphorically, how appropriate that shield, that 6-pointed star, is in fact protecting all of the people of Israel still today.
Wow. The correlation that I immediately jumped to in the Red Star of David, and how that Red Star of David symbol symbolizes the emergency medical service, right, the ambulance, the blood, and the correlation between that and our organization like the Red Cross, correct, here in America, with very similar work that they do. It's kind of cool to think about that correlation.
Well, Magen David Adom is Israel's representative in the International Red Cross, and the other piece, which I haven't mentioned, is on that level, we also provide emergency services to countries that are in need. Most recently, Haiti, after the horrible earthquake that took place there. Magen David Adom showed up in Haiti, fulfilling an immediate need, but then maintaining a role for recovery and rehabilitation, which is not typically in the scope of what we do domestically, but continuing to provide those services. And we've done that in Thailand and other countries after earthquakes and tsunamis and other medical emergencies, that's our way to continue the scripture that you said, to bless the nations, to be a blessing from Israel to all the nations.
How can you do that with such need in your own land?
Wow. Well, I guess God gives us the ability and the awareness, and we have the mandate. The same way God has given Israel a promise, we also have a responsibility. They're not mutually exclusive. They can't be mutually exclusive. We have to be for ourselves, but we can't be only for ourselves.
So, I'm intrigued about the notion of donating blood.
Yes.
As one who loves Israel, who certainly loves to travel to Israel. What can somebody do if they want to donate blood on a trip that they're going to Israel, if it's not already on their schedule? What's the process that they can do to get that in there to help you guys out?
Well, if it's not on their schedule and they're already in the country, so we have to act quickly and find a time and a place that's convenient and make sure to avoid any waste of time and disappointment, that someone will be eligible according to things that we can typically pre-screen for. But if someone's planning a trip, then they can contact me. We will be happy. We've done this any number of times with all kinds of groups, Jews and Christians, to come together to schedule a time of 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it might be, depending on the number of people, or just an hour for one person to come, have the process facilitated and bring them and have that very, very meaningful experience of leaving an incredible gift behind.
Yeah, so you're able to actually travel to the individual, figure out their schedule, and work it out to where you can go to them if they can't make it to you?
If there's a group that's large enough, we have brought blood mobiles to hotels and other locations where we can do a blood drive on site. Otherwise, which is more common, we will bring a group to one of the blood collection facilities. But it's, for example, if you're in downtown Jerusalem, almost on a daily basis, there's a blood mobile parked at the bottom of Ben Yehuda Street. So anyone can walk in literally and just say, oh, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee, but I'll be right back, and leave a pint of blood behind. And it's an amazing opportunity, but coming from America and wanting to facilitate, I always want to just try and coordinate it best to make it as user-friendly an experience as possible, rather than someone showing up and then confronting a Hebrew questionnaire and not knowing which way to hold it.
I can imagine that being a bit of confusion. Well, I want to take a short break, but when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about the conflict that's currently underway, and what this has meant for you as an organization